Hi and welcome to the channel. I am the chunky nerd behind the wheel. Season 2 in iRacing is well under the way, and this season I'm focusing on the Toyota 86 GR Cup. I'm starting this season with a solid position in the D licence, but it's time to get real. The challenge I set for myself is to push for a C licence by the end of this season. Let's see how that goes. So on to the first race, and you can see it's at Lime Rock, but throughout practice and qualifying, the weather looked good, but it started to get darker and darker, so I had fears that when the race started, well, let's get to the grid and see. So as you can see, after what was a dry practice and qualifying, the rain has really started to fall before this race. Not only is this my first race of the season, it's my first rolling start, and it's the first time I've raced in the rain as well. Primed and ready to go. And the lights turn green and the GR Cup at the Lime Rock is officially underway. Eduardo's got a good start in P1, but we've also got some distance over Gonzalo in P3. I'm so nervous, but I'm going full tilt down to turn 1. Now I'm fully on the brakes and it's a bit unsteady as we enter the turn, but we have got good grip in the centre of the track at this point. I don't want to clip any grass and spin out. Someone's already spun it around at turn 1 and I guess it was inevitable in the rain, but we'll check out that later. I'm nicely tucked up behind Eduardo in P1 and the track feels good. But we're heading down to tricky tight turns at the uphill section, and if we spin here it could be game over early on. I'm trying again to keep the car in the middle of the track, which is not the best line going into the turn, but I really don't want to clip the curbs and bounce the car. Thankfully that was a good sequence through those turns on that one so far, so let's go back and check out what happened on turn 1. So just behind us you can see Chris, who got a good slide going, and he ends up not being able to rejoin because the rest of the pack is still screaming past him at this point. On to lap 2, where I'm still right behind Eduardo, but he's not setting as much pace as he was in the opening lap, and now because of that I have Gonzalo and Alexandria in P3 and 4 behind me, filling my mirrors looking to take advantage. He's on the brakes line. I'm going to take the chance, but I am past him, but he's made contact because I slammed the brakes right in front of him, but I am past. What a move that was in the rain on that turn as well. Eduardo's managed to get on the gas quicker because I was struggling to get the car back under control, and he's not letting P1 go lightly. Eduardo really shuts the door in Alexandria's face. He's carrying so much speed behind me as we head under the bridge and prepare to go down the hill. I've got a good line now going down the hill onto the start-finish straight, whereas Eduardo nearly puts it on the grass. What action here we've got at the front. Checking back at the replay further back on lap 2, I think it's the rain starting to play much more of a part in this race, but it's now Tyler who's spun out the car. He's done quite well there not to collect another driver. We're on lap 3 and I'm now starting to think we need to change the tyres because we're still on dry tyres. It was important not to change to the wet so early in the race because the track was still manageable, and the wet tyres wouldn't have worked properly if the track was not fully wet anyway. They just end up overheating it and just cause other issues. I don't want to keep up P1 though, but I might have to. Maybe one more lap and then go for the tyres regardless. We'll see. Despite the tyres though, the track still feels like it's got some grip left to give, but it won't last much longer. On board with Eduardo now, he's just sitting behind me looking for an opportunity to make a move that will help him regain P1. But to his credit, he's not making any rash moves. It's been another nose to tail type of lap at the front, but further behind we've had more victims of the rain. Oh, Francisco, I feel the pain. There's no contact, there's just a bit too much exuberance on the power, and it's just enough to spin him round and point the wrong way. On to lap 4 and I'm still on dry tyres. I gamble, but I need to get wets on this car right now. You can see from the back of my car, Eduardo is still really close. He's spun it, I don't believe it. It's been flawless up until this turn where other drivers have fallen foul too. He's narrowly missed by Gonzalo, but more importantly, we've got some breathing room to maybe slow this pace down a little bit. Oh, I'm gutted for Eduardo. He was giving me a good race up until then. That's got me thinking though now, do I delay for another lap to change to the wets or do I stay out? Oh, and I've caught the curb and it's unsettled the car. I can do nothing about it. We've spun out of P1, but that's got nothing to do with the rain. It's just poor track positioning. A couple of cars go by. Alexandria's overcooked it too. Maybe he's just seen me a little bit late. He's taking a small detour across the grass. Meanwhile, we're back on the track and I can't believe the lead's gone though. Looking back at the replay, we saw the spin from Eduardo, but we didn't see what came afterwards. He took a big hit to the side, and I have to say, Eduardo, it is your fault for coming back across the track. Even further back on that lap on turn 1, David is joined the ever-growing list of spinners in the rain, but he's kept it out of the wall, which is good. It doesn't seem to matter where you are in the race, first, second, last. Everybody seems to be having problems with the rain. Just behind my spin-off, Gonzalo and Daniel simultaneously hit the barrier under braking. There's just no grip now, but both cars have kept it going and hopefully don't need any repairs. On to lap 6 and straight away in the background Alexandria's lost it on turn 3. I think I've left it too late now, but it's time to change to the wet tyres. There's too many spins here not to take any action, and I'll be pitting in at the end of this lap for sure. I'll lose a few places, but hopefully I have better grip and traction. Oh no, I've done the same thing as Gonzalo and Daniel did on lap 4. A couple of laps back, but I've also caused some damage to the car too. The wheel is totally out of alignment. The car is totally undrivable now, and I'm just a sitting duck for the drivers. And before I've got time to breathe, I've got a car passing me already. It's Alexandria who's recovered from that small mistake on turn 3. I just can't defend it though, I've got to let him go. Oh man, I've overcompensated on the grass because of the damage and this is turning into an absolute nightmare. The car will not turn. Oh, and I've caught the grass and now into a spin. What else can go wrong? I need to get to those pits ASAP, but I feel like my dithering on previous laps about pitting may have cost me more than I thought. On to lap 9 and I'm running in P13, but I've got all the damage repaired and I've got those crucial wet tyres and it's made such a difference. I've been chasing Daniel now for half a lap and I don't know if he's just slow or he's on normal tyres, but he's struggling. On board now and I'm going to try and make a pass if there's a viable gap. But he's into a slide and we nearly got taken out too from his spin, but that just shows the difference in the grip we have now. We've managed to get around him safely. I should have pitted sooner to do this. My only defence is that this is my first wet race and boy has it been a lesson on what not to do. The accidents continue as James is tagged likely, but it's enough to spin him out and park him in front of the car that's just hit him. But just as you think both of them got away unscathed, disaster strikes. James makes a massive mistake and reverses out straight into Francisco. That's such a bad error on his part. On board now with Francisco and he's literally got nowhere to go. That's both cars out of the race. If James had just waited a little longer and moved forward instead of reversing, he would have rejoined safely and not took himself or Francisco out of the race. On to the final lap and I've no idea how I've managed to get this far. It's been a chaotic race, but you'll notice we've gone from 16 running cars to just 8. And you can see I'm still trying to push further up the order into the top 5, which considering events of this race, it'd be a cracking result. Going back to what I do best, and I'm tucked up behind Mohammed, who's defending well over the last few laps, but I think he's done enough here to keep me back in P6. But look at that, I think there's been a few disqualifications up front because I've just moved up to P4, and that's an insane result in the first race of the season at the GR86 Cup. I'm going to say this though, I'm glad it's over. On to the results, and I did check back at the replays, but I'm not sure what happened to the 2 cars in front of me. I was promoted to 4th place in the end though, which as I said on the last lap, it was a cracking result to start off with. There's been a slight drop in the safety rating, which doesn't surprise me much, but thankfully it's not a huge chunk in our quest for the C licence. Slight bit of good news is that the iRating did increase a small bit, which I'm happy with of course. So for the results table, we can put our 4th place finish on there from Lime Rock and see what result we get next. Speaking of which, up next is Magellan's short course, and all I can ask is please be sunny and not raining. Please smash the like button if you enjoyed the race and consider subscribing to the channel to help it grow and see more content like what's on screen now. Until then, Chonky Nerd out.